Round number 1 of game number 2 here. Looks like C's will be the utility player. And no one else yet to buy up into the round, but you would assume all other 4 guys would get armor. There it is. And it'll be interesting to see whether Kinguin go for something a little bit aggressive here, just to find out that early bit of information.
Information, of course, so key, especially on a map like this. Guardian taking point right now up Banana. We call this as being a real hot spot where we were expecting the teams to go huge, and there's Guardian. Does get the first frag, and instantly the other B defender of Fox has to just pull away. The bomb is still located on T steps. Zeus just came in with the second one tap. That is onto Fox, and that opens up B nicely. Meanwhile, Edward is trying to come round the back towards CT spawn. He gets shut down from Scream with the headshot. Bomb still hasn't transitioned onto the site. There's the smoke that could cloud off the vision of the CTs. And this bomb will be getting planted right here, right now. Guardian with another headshot from Maikelele. That could be a crucial frag going the way of the terrorists. And after getting the CT side, this is definitely not the start that Kinguin were hoping for.
That should summarize this round here. It's going to be Denis, the last man. He has got to the corals area, but 4-on-1 situation, you have to favour towards NaVi, and there it is. Seized to take him down. So, like you said, the fast banana control, getting Guardian, getting that first frag. It all comes down to the CT being able to land that first headshot. If it doesn't happen, you get taken down with the running Glocks. That's pretty much game over at that stage. You have 2 options. Normally, what a lot of teams will do will send 3 players towards Banana just to kind of counter that a little bit and have 1 man that's expendable, and the CTs can kind of clear up at that stage. But they played a little bit further back and got taken down with that initial frag. And they won't actually be forcing into this round too much. You can see P250s have been purchased, but Denis is the only one who will be getting armor as well. 1 smoke grenade to hold them off. So it'll be interesting to see where the stack comes in here. 4 players are going to be towards middle, leaving 1 Banana, but NaVi just feeling it out, seeing if they can spot a stack, and they may run into a single player here and actually going to take him down with quite a lot of ease there.
Yep. Not too much that Denis could do from that position. He was the man as well with the Kevlar. Edward's going to chime in for a second frag, looking for a third, and just pulls out the P250 for the simple headshot. And now it's all on Fox, who has consistently been on this B site on Inferno recently for Team Kinguin. And NaVi will know this as well. So the bomb will be getting planted comfortably on A. And that'll be their second round, and it doesn't look like they're going to lose any weapons either, so very clear cut from NaVi.
Yep, it's always important when you're playing anti-eco. Obviously, Kinguin not investing as heavily to this round as we've seen a lot of teams do on the second one, but still very good for NaVi. Not dropping a single player at this point.
This is the whole thing, the equipment required on the Inferno CT side. It can be the differentiating factor between losing a round and winning one, especially because we talked about the banana area. If you can have the smoke grenades, and especially incendiaries as well, it makes the job a lot easier. You have the smoke to the start to lock out the T for as long as possible. You can get it down to around the 30-second mark if you play your cards right. And then when the execution does come in, you have the incendiaries to actually tunnel the terrorists in the way you want them to go.
What we see from a lot of teams now on anti-ecos on the T side of Inferno, so we see Edward here cleaning up with the MP7. They buy a lot of the SMGs and a lot of nades and Molotovs, so you can flush out, because there's a lot of corners on this map that you can stack and be really sneaky at. So a bit of a different approach from NaVi, really going for those AKs, but basically I think it was because they thought maybe Kinguin was going to be investing a lot more heavily in that round than I thought.
You can see Edward will be able to justify keeping that MP7. Kinguin, of course, won't be buying too much again. They have got 2 smoke grenades here, so potentially trying to sell a stack somewhere. They have got 3 players towards that quad area. That could be interesting. Actually land a headshot there, but Guardian takes down Denis, making it a 5-4 now. That should make their job a lot easier going into this.
Yeah, you can see there was a stack up there on top of quad. It was Rain. He gets taken down there. Scream from the side. Scream lands a second headshot. Very nicely done. And a third as well with the AK-47. And with Guardian on 9 HP and an AK in the hands of Kinguin, they could cause a bit of an upset here in this third round. Still a lot of time to play with, but look where that bomb's dropped. Really precarious position.
Guardian at 9 HP as well.
Yeah, that smoke will actually block off the vision though, so C should be able to get this bomb. But now the long trek.
Look at this, top middle. Got a headshot him as well. Both players on 9 HP now. Very dangerous situation with the T's. And all of a sudden, you've got to favour Kinguin in this round. 40 seconds remaining on the clock though. Guardian will be making some entries. Actually, fluffed his smoke a little bit there.
Yeah.
Oh, that missed smoke.
That was huge.
Yeah, it really was, because it just gives Scream the frag on the cross. Last player is going to be seized. He gets picked off. A huge round for Kinguin, picking up their first one and keeping 2 AKs as well.
What can you really say? That was careless play from NaVi, just basically running up middle and not using utilities and what they have to make it harder for Kinguin.
The interesting thing about that round as well, like the quad stack is not very orthodox, really. You'd normally be stacking towards B and trying to bait people in, but that quad stack is actually pretty powerful. And you saw that flick shot from Scream was incredible.
When he's hitting those shots, and all bets are off.
Yeah, sure. So
Really
now
is the Scream factor, isn't it? This guy's crazy.
bringing an early gun round here. Kinguin will be buying into the round, but NaVi definitely being able to justify some AKs as well. I've got a decent amount of equipment. This is going to be a game-defining round, that's for sure. Could break either team.
Yeah, if NaVi win this round now, Kinguin definitely back on the back foot once more, but this gives Kinguin such a good chance to start moving ahead there. A Scream again, he's clearly feeling it right now. He's in the zone, second frag, both of them headshots as expected, and he only loses 27 HP in the process. That's a beautiful trade out for Kinguin, and it just got a whole lot better. Rain from quad just destroys the T's, and that smoke keeps them at bay as well. Looking great for Kinguin here. We're expecting them to pick up this round as well. I mean, Edward and Guardian do have a little bit of utility, but only 2 facing off 5.
Yeah, when you've got 2 AKs left in a 5-on-2 situation, it's not really much you can do. You really are hoping for a miracle. As soon as you get spotted, the rotations come in, and you can't really justify holding flanks as well. So you just get pincered onto the site, and unless you've got some sort of godlike play up your sleeve, it's only going one way.
The CTs have to make mistakes for this kind of a round to actually translate into something.
It looks like the save will be coming in. They do take 2 AKs and armor as well. So let's just have a look at the T-side money here. I'm pretty sure they will be onto an eco here. Obviously saving 2 guns. Edward has got around 2.4k in the bank. So if they really want to do a Tech 9 round, he could drop an additional AK-47. And that would be an option, I guess. But let's see how they approach this next one. Very early days yet. Don't need to be making those big decisions just yet. But here we go then.
They have a good foundation to build off here, NaVi. As you say, like with 2 rounds, there's no rush. There's still plenty of rounds to pick up.
AK. They will be buying into this one.
Oh man.
So Galil dropped. And so 3 AKs. Oh, sorry, 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and a couple of smokes to go in there as well. Kinguin, if they win this one, really could set themselves up to get that momentum back in their court.
High risk, high reward from NaVi. If they win this, Kinguin's economy is not going to be the best. But as Henry said, this is a really rough round potentially for NaVi. They do have quite a bit of equipment in their back pocket to maybe set up for a play onto a site. But again, as you're expecting with NaVi, they're just going to be biding their time and waiting.
Yep. When they have this much banana control NaVi, they should really go for that some kind of a beast trap with 2 Molotovs and 3 smokes even to work with. But let's see what they opt to do here.
Especially considering they have pistols as well. I feel like the CZ running into B through smoke and flashes could definitely pick off a couple heads. But it seems like they're definitely going to be working mid here with the bomb drop just behind them. Smoke and Molotov on quad. You can see from the positions of the CTs, they're playing this much more passive, so that's not going to bother them whatsoever. It does keep them on their tiptoes, guessing where this potential push could come in. And here we go, Zeus taking point with the CZ. Guardian spraying towards Library. He's not going to really land anything. There is Zeus with the aforementioned CZ, getting the first frag, and then transitioning across to the assault rifle. Good start for NaVi. 30 seconds, though. If the CTs can just hold on to this position on the site, they could be golden still. Guardian coming through in quad. That is a heavy, heavy blow. Him picking off the player in pit, which was Rain. Dennis has been dropped as well. What a fantastic take from NaVi with 2 pistols. This is going to be their round, and both CTs are just happy to sit on B and save those weapons now.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from them, absolutely. I think the way they actually pushed through middle, they were so methodical about it. Molotoving off quad, smoking that area as well, means no CT can push through that smoke because the Molotov sat right behind it as well. You know you're completely safe in that situation. Got himself up to Waj, smoked out in front of Library as well, so the CT's lost his vision, he's falling back, and then we saw that CZ play coming in from, was it Zeus towards the end there? Actually gets that first kill, and that's where it fell apart. And we talk about Guardian as well. Not only is he one of the world's best AWP users as well, he can actually rifle to a top level as well. That shot he got in the pit as well, it's really brutal onto Rain. I don't think he expected that one coming. And there we go, NaVi pick up their 3rd round. And Kinguin do save 2 guns though. They should be able to buy into this pretty convincingly. You can see a couple of players selling some high money there, especially Foxes, I think it was on 7k. That's another round that could be very important as NaVi do bounce back with the pistol buy.
Yeah, fantastic shot, as you say, from Guardian. And up until that point, they've got a player, I think it was Rain, who was in pit, and then they had a player on the site as well. So they could have got a crossfire down with 25 seconds and caused, like, absolute misery for NaVi. But that one click, like, that pretty much seals the round up. So, fantastic play from Guardian. And now Kinguin going for a more aggressive defense. Last round they were very passive in pit towards the site itself. This time they've pushed into apartments. 2 players in there. Still just a glill in the hands of flamie, but that's more than good enough to pick up frags, and he walks into the firing range and somehow at least gets a 1-for-1 trade. And that information is going to be crucial as well. But that being said, Fox and Maikelele both just pick up the M4s, and Rex seized an Edward, and now that puts the T's in a bit of a precarious position. Zeus has been picked off as well, and it's all on that man Guardian. He must be wondering what the hell just happened there to the rest of his team. He is on Archer's side, but he's been spotted. He will not get the frag, but he's been dropped to 3, so the chances of him clutching this have just been brought down to very, very low figures indeed. And the bomb's also dropped behind him towards mid.
Yeah, not much you can do. 3 HP left, 30 seconds on the clock. It's a really nice setup there from Kinguin, actually reading the game quite well. There was quite a little bit of a risk, really, considering have NaVi taken banana in that situation. They've been so far away from the rotations, but maybe 1 man remaining, and Guardian is actually a pretty decent situation. Going into the ruins here, if he had more HP and a chance with the bomb, it might be kind of interesting. I think he's just trying to save him, potentially find 1 frag, but not going to happen when the CTs have the bomb.
Yep, at least NaVi gets to buy next round fully, so that's not going to be an issue here. Good thing for NaVi is that Guardian managed to take that 2nd pick, so that means there's going to be at least 1 drop that has to be made from Kinguin to have a full purchase. So that's going to be a bit of an economic dent for Kinguin. But obviously these rounds going back and forth, it's going to be always hard for the CTs. These next couple of rounds are really going to be indicating how this half is going to run out.
So we have got a little pause coming in here. I assume this is technical. Yep, so someone's timed out on the Kinguin side. So gives us a chance to look at this scoreboard here. We can see Scream. He's had a couple of amazing rounds here, especially on the ecos as well, picking up big frags there. And looking over towards the NaVi side, we've got Guardian, 5 kills for him, and Edward and flamie sat on 4Ks himself. So definitely going to be a great series here, I think, just because it's so close, so back and forth. Both teams digging deep on their eco rounds and stepping up. We saw Team Kinguin come back in the 3rd round with that quad stack. And then NaVi coming in, 3 rifles, 2 pistols, actually making it work really well for them, not even dropping a frag there. So that was actually pretty fun to watch. And now can see another buy round coming in. Like I said, Kinguin's money not going to be too dented there, as Guardian did save AK, but took a couple of men down with him. So Fox coming back in the server now.
Interestingly as well, Denis got the MVP last game because he was an absolute beast on train. 0 and 5, no assists, so he's been having a bit of a rough start here so far in the first 6 rounds. So again, that's the NaVi factor, I guess.
Yeah, well, it feels like the game hasn't really settled down yet. It's still a little very disruptive. Every round is so high octane, a lot of crazy stuff being presented to them. But now we can see just normal buys from both teams. NaVi actually lacking a little bit in terms of theirs, because they have 3 smokes so far and no Molotovs at all. Molotovs can be very influential on this map, flushing out CTs from certain areas. You've got garbage top and middle, and if you go to the B bomb side, being able to caution off certain areas where you don't even have to check can be a huge factor as well. But it seems that the round will be restored and we can continue here. See, C's calling for the unpause there. So we go into round number 7. 3-3 is going to be your current score. May I remind you, this is a best of 1 game as well. Loser is out of the tournament. Looks like we have got a decent spawn here for Kinguin. Could potentially do something a little bit aggressive. We do see them do that on train quite a lot. Pushing down middle, for example, could be quite cool. Actually, it's going to be 3 players going straight there. This could be the aggression I'm talking about, but the serious one does go down. Nading down the bottom mid. Not going to amount too much, though.
Yeah, this time not allowing NaVi to get any banana control whatsoever. And Fox just by himself walks down there, picks up the frag onto Seized, and right off the bat, and that's going to force the terrorists into a very grueling round here. Probably going to be taking every second at their disposal, trying to outmaneuver Kinguin. And instantly, Kinguin actually rotate one of those B players back over onto, well, I was going to say maybe onto A, but he actually sticks by, and I think that's the right call. Leaving a player like just 1 on B when there's still 4 Ts, that seems a bit risky to me.
This is the time they can do the B execute. Only 2 smokes remaining, so they're going to have to do it pretty fast. And we have got an incendiary.
Yep, big thing is that NaVi still has a Molotov, so they'll be able to Molotov one of the key spots here on B site.
Scream again, just watching that angle. We saw him pick up 2 frags earlier with the AK-47 from this position. Absolutely wrecking. Here come the flashes, the smokes. 35 seconds, NaVi have to start to push in. You can see there, top left, the Molotovs landing. on the boxes, and flamie will be getting that entry frag onto Fox. That is huge. Forces Scream back into the garden areas. There's nothing he can really do from here. He's hoping to get a couple of sprays through the smoke onto a player, but the bomb's been planted at the back of the fountain. And now 3 players occupying this position. It's going to be very difficult for the CTs to force over. They only have flashbangs remaining in their back pockets and their utility belt.
GG.
I think, was Fox timed out?
I did not catch that. Yeah, it seems like he did just time out. But meanwhile, flamie and Zeus are going to be putting Screaming Rain to rest. It's all on Denis. And he has to back away.
So that's why it seemed so awkward.
Yeah.
Fox was in pool. His positioning was weird. He couldn't really see anyone. He died instantly. Scream spamming off his bullets into the smoke, having no impact whatsoever. But basically what happened there is before anything took place, Fox had already timed out. So
these guys are good sports. I wouldn't be surprised if we replayed the round.
I would hope so.
Just because it's an online game with CS, these things will happen. And you have a player... Although NaVi will be kind of disappointed, their entrance to the site was really good. But like you said...
But hugely impacted by the fact that Fox wasn't there.
Sure. And that was a problem.
His spirit was away.
I'd assume we're replaying the round. That would be the only...
His body may have been there, but his spirit was somewhere else.
The only fair way to look at this one. So, I'm going to go NaVi. We talked about their lack of equipment that round. And they probably thought, oh, God, guys, we've actually made it work for ourselves. But looks like they may be replaying this one. We do go into the pause there. A little bit of a confusing round. No one really knows. We're not really the governing body here as well either, so we can't really speculate what's going to go on. So don't listen to me. I have no influence.
We're just
on this.
speculating here.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, if the round was replayed, would you fancy NaVi to try the same play again?
I think that's normally the thing to do. In terms of sportsmanship, you try and play it out as close to as possible as what you would have done and see what that scenario could have gone down. But yeah, like it's difficult to call. I have no idea. Like, well, it obviously made sense. They got in there. The good thing what they did that time is they got rid of all the Kinguin smokes. There was still about a minute on the board by the time they'd done that. So whether that's going to happen again, whether Kinguin will make the same mistake twice, I'm not so sure. And Rain's saying they need to get a stand-in now. Is that?
Whoa.
Normally when that happens, it means someone's getting DDoSed or
network issues. It's never a
Internet
great thing to
crashing
read.
all the time.
Exist is back. So maybe they brought in a NIP player before. It was actually Forest they brought in for Kinguin last time. And Get Right, I think it looks like.
Very potentially. Did you also say they had Schneider?
No, so that was another game. In the qualifiers, they had Schneider playing for them instead of Scream because he was getting DDoSed.
Right.
And then in the actual group stages, after the major, they had Ligia and Forest step in for them because players were away on holiday and stuff. So they've got a big... That's the thing. NIP can fill in for anyone, really, because they're not actually in this tournament in any capacity. So they're allowed to come in and be the Super Mercs, for example. So Fox will be jumping out. And I assume GT would mean Get Right, but...
That's usually what it means.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Not a bad player to get to stand in.
Well, definitely fits in pretty nicely. Okay, well, instead of us rambling on, I think we have been talking about most of the game for the last 5 minutes or so while we've been doing the pause. Let's go to a very quick break where we work out what's going on here. And don't go anywhere, guys. Obviously, this series just picking up now. And hopefully we'll get this sorted very soon. And we'll be back in a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back now. We have resolved the issue we had, Fox's internet letting him down slightly there, but who else would you like to bring in other than Get Right One of the world's best players comes in as a super sub, so this could be explosive here. As we go into round number 8 now. I assume we're not replaying the round then. That's actually going to be going forward as is.
So,
bit of a bomber from Kinguin, obviously. I don't think that was a fair round. But it is what it is, right?
Dennis is back though.
with the Deagle, no huge surprises there with a sick one. A V2 that you pulled off before, but either way, get right. Who has just came in, instantly knocked back down again. There's Denis with another Deagle, 3-on-3. And the bomb has been taken, though, onto the site, which itself has become very available for the terrorists. But there's another pistol headshot. This time it's from Rain with the 5-7, just running up Banana. Flashbang thrown out from Guardian just to try and stop that initial push, and it definitely does do just that. The issue now, though, is that if the CT's coming together, this could get a bit rough for NaVi. Zeus goes for that peek into Ruins and does get the entry frag. Or the defense frag, I should say, but there's Rain answering back. It's all on Zeus. Grenade lands by his feet, 27 HP to play with. The bomb is being defused right now from Kinguin, and Rain has to come off it. He has no defuse kit. If he had the kit there, I think he has the round in the bag.
Absolutely. Like, he got himself in a great position, 2-on-1. That last kill towards the end, obviously going to define it. And it seemed like after that confusion and losing a player, maybe Kinguin could have bounced straight back into that one, but not meant to be.
Great thing is that NaVi, well, from Kinguin's point of view, that NaVi lost all their players, so that was a huge economic dent in NaVi's bank right now. So this round here could really be a huge one going further on this half.
So a little bit of a shame there. Not going to have the full lineup from Kinguin, but they have been playing well so far. 3 rounds so far, but obviously big round. So we have round number 9 now. AK's just been bought for NaVi. Guardian actually stepping up really well with the rifles tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot's always made about his AWPing skills, but as you say, the guy can pick up a rifle and stand tall with the best of them. So definitely a crucial member. And 5 rounds already for the T side. I mean, this is shaping up to be a really good half for the NaVi lineup.
See Maikelele now forced onto the Mag 7. Definitely a scary weapon on Inferno. It's almost made for this map. So many close choke points and entrances for the T's to come through.
This works out pretty good for Kinguin as well, so let's get right used to the place, be on Inferno as well. So
that's true. Yeah, that's quite cool.
So with this crossfire down again, NaVi. The thing is, with it, I guess for Kinguin, they know that the initial push probably isn't going to come in for quite a little while longer, so they can afford to just sit here in these positions. Maikelele taking point as expected with the Mag 7. Waiting for this push. Is he going to pull off anything? We saw him pull it off yesterday on Mirage. He got a couple of kills, but he's frying in the flash and really couldn't do too much about that because the players were pushing his location anyway. Guardian comes in to clean up the site, and again, NaVi will have this plan.
what a great entry. I think they even triple flashed at choke point NaVi did when they pushed in, and one of them caught a Maikelele, who then eventually burned alive, as we see it right here. Still trying to bring it in with 2 kills.
Not bad at all. There's the Molotov that's going to force C's down to position, potentially into his crosshairs, and he has landed yet another frag. There are defuse kits as well in the CTs, but they're out of position, so it's just a case of Get Right going in by himself, Lone Wolf style, trying to do some damage.
It's a little bit too far gone.
Yep. Still like 4 kills, very nicely done.
It's a hungry man there.
Yeah, I guess coming into this match, there's no pressure at all on him. Just have some fun, it seems like. Get 4 headshots.
Already third on the board as well for Kinguin after 1 round.
It's actually a really good point as
2
well.
rounds.
Yeah, and it's a really good point that you mentioned. Like, coming in here, the pressure surely off his shoulders. He can just loosen up and do what he does best. So it's maybe a bit of a worry for NaVi.
Let's see, we go. That's 3 in a row now for the T-side here. Kinguin will be able to buy into this one. He saved a couple of guns there. And now it gets worse for Kinguin as the coach times out as well. So they've lost the in-game leader.
Like musical chairs with the internet. Who's going to drop next? Hopefully nobody. So how do Kinguin stop these pushes from NaVi? It's so rough for them.
The thing is, like, you need the synergy on the B-bomb site. If you don't have that one and your traditional lineup, it's very difficult to hold those kind of executions off.
Yeah, I would just my advice would be being much more aggressive in
Yeah,
Banana.
not allowing
Take that
them to
option away from NaVi to start off with.
Yeah, that could be definitely one of the strongest options you can actually present to them. Get down there, take that away from them, and at least make them expend most of their utility before they have the opportunity to execute onto B. But now it's a much slower approach from NaVi here. You can see them favouring towards the apartment area. 4 of them there, 1 person actually anchoring towards mid. The double stack from the CTs towards Arch. Going to be pushed back as well.
2 players in CT on the CT side of B, my mistake, still on there, so not really pushing in, trying to get any information. Here comes Zeus with the entry, flamie as well, but there's Denis answering back. This site has been taken once again from NaVi. This time on A. And again, the CTs don't really have a hope of getting back onto this, surely.
Yeah, 3 and 4. The retake of this situation is very hopeless. It's going to be super hard for Kinguin.
Do have 3 defuse kits, but really that's all. And here comes Edward, lines them up, 2 headshots from behind. And that will be the end of the round. Now the question is, can the CT save that last remaining assault rifle? And the answer is a resounding no as Edward comes in 7-3 now.
Bit of a mistake from Rain in that round as well. He tried a sneaky flash from he was playing in Pig Pit. He was trying to flash off short, but he ended up flashing himself and letting the terrorist run into the site and kill his teammate, making himself unable to do pretty much anything in that round.
Something NaVi is so good at is forcing the CTs back from their advantage in middle, getting the face on the angles. They're so good at pushing them back to unfavored angles, and then they lose their information, and then they execute so well onto the side to find the opening frags. And now Kinguin actually be forced down. Economy completely broken. The Eagles coming out across the board, it seems like. GetRight's going to have a P250 in hand. Denis gets a couple of flashbangs in armor. But the money should be okay for next round as well. It's more of a quality buy, I don't think. Edwards opens up, takes down Rain. 5 on 4 to go into round number 11.
Yes, the real issue now, though, for Kinguin is the fact that they are so far behind on rounds on the CT side. They won the knife elected to start here, as you'd expect on Inferno. A couple of unfortunate rounds with drops and such, but still take nothing away from NaVi. They've been executing these strats to perfection. I see quite a lot of damage being inflicted here onto Guardian from Archer's side. But still, they have the 4-on-2 advantage with plenty of time. The B site has been taken. Seized is just going to clear this one out, make sure there's no sneaky CTs hiding in dark. Denis is almost touching Guardian there through the smoke, but instead Guardian does just back away. There's the bomb plant, and again, NaVi in prime position here on their T side, and almost running away with this, honestly, now.
Yeah, it's going to be super hard for Kinguin, especially with standing and everything, making this work. Already 8-3 to be down here on the CT side on Inferno of all things. So definitely looking really grim from Kinguin.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Like online CS, this kind of stuff does happen quite a lot, but there's not really much you can do about it. You just have to make the best of a bad situation. I think they've got the best possible option they could have gone for.
Also, the impact of that round where Fox timed out was pretty huge in terms of Kinguin having to go to save afterwards, and then basically gave NaVi a huge advantage in economy, and they've been rolling ever since, not really looking back.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the AWP come out this time. You can see Maikelele has got a decent amount of bank there. Denis will pick it up. So at least that means they can actually gain some positional control. Denis has a really good spawn for B as well, so he can actually go for the pick. But interesting enough, though, NaVi have gone for a double AWP setup on T-side Inferno. That's pretty unorthodox. T-side double AWP is not really run that much, and especially not on Inferno. Let's see how this one works out for them. Denis will be going for that initial face. Does spot a T down there on the steps. Not going to have any more face here. And he's actually just trying to bait out a shot. They've worked out where he is. Now the CT's going to smoke it off and probably readjust their setup here.
You're very curious to see if flamie's second AWP here comes into use for NaVi.
Well, anything. This is going to slow their play down even more. We know them to be a very slow, methodical team, even with the rifles in hand. So now they're going to enter bomb sites with these guns. They'll be very pick reliant here with 2 AWPs, but maybe they've got something in mind.
Kinguin do have quite a bit of utility to play with, though this could also be a bit of a saving grace for them coming through. Sees taking point, just trying to clear out Banana, making sure no one's behind the sandbags. The first frag, though, is going to be onto flamie. It was from Denis, so he has started this round off well for the CTs. 45 seconds, one of those AWPs now on the ground. Want to be keeping it with these AKs, get up in the face of Kinguin. Maybe executing towards Archers here. Zeus throwing in the smoke to try and block off Library. From that side, Molotov does land by him. Another Molotov is thrown from Zeus, however. And now the CT's kind of forced into a position of coming through Archers. This next frag could be absolutely crucial. And it is GetRight, so that puts us in a 5v3. 20 seconds to play with. Guardian hasn't been able to do anything with this AWP because of the smoke landing in his face. Edward, meanwhile, though, will take down the stand-in of GetRight. And then they back on off. Only 10 seconds, so they're just going to save, I assume.
So obviously, like I said, just trying to the only option you really have when you have 2 AWPs is work the picks. flamie goes up to the top of mid, faces Denis at the arch and gets taken down, and with no real time left, they were forced to do a push. And
not exactly sure if Inferno is the map to go for double ops on T-side.
Dust 2, it's definitely unorthodox, but you can get away with it.
Yeah.
You can base off spawns and face some big angles, but Inferno, like 1 AWP is sometimes like a situational buy, but having 2, I've not really seen that before. So maybe getting a little bit carried away with themselves there actually is going to affect their economy pretty heavily. You can see Guardian did save the AWP there, but the rest of the guys are going to have 1 CZ. And Galil as well, but we saw it work so well for them before, so why not? And that aggression coming in from the CT towards Banana now. They're going to be trying to work out, and Guardians will be burning away. Must stay alive with the smoke. Just about does it with 8 HP.
Extremely low bit. Look at Denis. He's pushed all the way down. He's got 1, make that 2 frags as well. And they have a pretty good idea that there's at least another player in Banana. But suddenly NaVi just bounced back with 3 of their own. Seas picks up 2, Edward the other one. And this looked like it was an ironclad round for Kinguin.
Absolutely. I don't know how they got back into that. We'll have to look at the replay, see what the frags went down. We've got Get Right at the sandbags, though. He's getting information, but the T's are not going to be going there. It's going to come down to Maikelele. AWP currently in library, but the T's probably going to be going through apartments fast. And this is where Get Right potentially needs to start pushing now. Like, with nothing being shown, and Maikelele not really having any positional advantage whatsoever, the T's are going to go onto the site pretty convincingly here.
Very rough position for
Get
CTs.
Right starting to push now. He'd realised this is not looking good for them.
Info is absolutely crucial here, I suppose, is to keep Maikelele in a position where maybe he could find off a couple shots and potentially bring this back into the favour of Kinguin. This is looking ever so dire, though, for the CTs. It has to be said. There's a good smoke that's going to keep Maikelele at bay. He looks to try and push through. There's a slight crack in that smoke, but he's not going to be able to get a frag from that. Bomb's been planted, the spray comes down, but there's Maikelele, lands the first shot. Ooh. And the second as well! Was that through smoke? I've no idea, and Get Right picks up the third. What? And NaVi lose a round that I was sure they'd win.
Speaking of flashy AWP plays.
What the hell was that second shot? That was sick. I hope we can see a replay of that. That was a really crazy shot from him. And I thought they were going to just tie that one up. It looks like it was a perfect play from them. Denis obviously locking in the T's here. We thought that was it. And then all of a sudden 3 frags coming out of absolutely nowhere. This is where Seized.
Oh, man.
Double spray down for him, and Edward gets one of his own. But this second shot here, I don't know how this happened. Bang. The flick shot comes in. Huge shot. 2 HP. Get Right picks up the last kill there. That's a massive round to win. Knocks down the economy of NaVi now. I'm going to be on pistol. Forced by Tech9's. Got some smoke grenades as well. You would assume they'll be doing a nice little smoke set play here.
Even in slow motion, that was lightning fast from Maikelele.
Yeah, like Nancy said, the flashy plays, and that's what he's so famous for.
And I guess this is where that double AWP setup really hurts NaVi, because now they're going for Tech9s with the armor. So it definitely is starting to impact them. You can see the flash coming through. I think Rain's pop flash nearly landed on the head of the player he's taking down, and there's the triple man spray down from him as well, from the same position. He's very low on HP, but there's Denis to just come and help, give him a helping hand. All on Seas, has picked up the first frag and the second as well, so he's making this super economically damaging for the CTs, and has picked himself up the AWP as well. Has 45 seconds and the bomb to play with. And look at the CT's positioning right now. If they keep here and Seas does go for the B site, the woes could continue. There we go, now splitting up. Still low. Seas should not get this round, surely.
Well, he's just working for a pick. He's hoping the CT's make a mistake before he has to do anything. Has the bomb in hand and AWP, and I think the objective here, okay, if I don't find a frag, I probably have to save here, so probably this could be his last play, unless he finds his kill straight away. It's not going to be an option there. Get Right doesn't even make the save viable for him. Takes out a kill, and now Kinguin are actually bouncing back in this, considering the horrible deficit they were facing before. Rain recovers this round pretty specially as well, gets 3 frags after Maikelele got taken down, so good stuff from him. But now we're going to round number 15. Again, I was going to say 2 pistols for NaVi there, but actually managed to squeeze out a Galil right at the end. Let's see how the last round goes down. Looks like NaVi are going to be going very heavy towards the B site. You can see 4 players stacking the bottom. They're trying to get that positional control.
Yeah, all about the position. Kinguin, even if they win this round, would definitely be up against it still, but this gives them a lifeline. It gives them a glimmer of hope if they can get that pistol. Here comes the push, though. Scream in prime position to strike. He's going to try the spray. Isn't landing too much. He gets pushed. There's the first frag, looking for a second. The flashbang, somehow he manages to sneak away and Get Right is there. On point to save Scream's life. He's been picked up. The push through the Molotov is not going to prove to be fruitful for NaVi. And it's all on Edward to try and clutch this 1v4 to give NaVi the 9-6 halftime score lead. And I'm not fancying his chances here. Denis is going to have a peek. He does get the first frag. He still has 70% of his HP to play with, and the bomb now in his hands. If he can get this frag on dark, it's doable, I suppose, but there is always that possibility of Maikelele coming up from behind. That Molotov keeps him at bay for now.
Yep, some big mistakes need to be made from Kinguin for Edward to have a chance here.
Absolutely. And he's waiting for a potential push onto Coils. That Molotov is going to land dead on top of the player who's there. It is going to be Scream. He did take a lot of damage in the process, though. And Maikelele's now got a skate on. He's coming up through Banana. Smoke is going to stop the push for now. That grenade could very well land on top of... Oh, it doesn't land on top of Edward. He's got 1 HP left. Somehow survives. This bomb is going to get planted as well, but surely Maikelele has him from behind, and there we go. 8-7 will be a half-time scoreline.
Yep, Kinguin actually making it respectable.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the headline here. We thought after the Get Right joins the server, I thought it'd all start crumbling then. Obviously, you don't have that synergy we discussed before. You're not able to hold off the pushes as easily, but actually, that huge round from Maikelele with the AWP, I think that was their saving grace. They actually broke the economy of NaVi after that. Having a look at the featured matchup here, C's actually having a pretty quiet first 15 rounds. 5 frags for him. Rain not having the most spectacular game either, 9 frags. But Get Right comes in, manages to pick up 8 of his own, so that's pretty cool from him. So we go into the second half now. Obviously NaVi now on the CT side. They did win the first half, and you would favour them still based on the scoreline. But if Kinguin do manage to get his pistol, who knows? We've got 4 players with them, 4 sets of armour. This will be Maikelele with the utility play as well, so 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs for him. Let's see how they approach this one. I assume it have to be something very simple here, just considering they haven't actually got the full lineup on the server.
Edward looking for a potential head to rip off the shoulders, doesn't see anything. Decoy thrown in Banana as well, so Kinguin trying to keep this one anything but predictable in apps as well. Very slow play, as you expect on Inferno. Here comes the push now through onto short side, through quad. Edward now looking with that USP, but it's Zeus that opens up the first frag, trying to make something happen with the CZ. Edward, meanwhile, does pick off the head of Denis. Can't get the second one. Maikelele just rips on in. That bomb has been dropped in pit, but should be moving across to the site any second now to be planted on A. And the CTs have to push in together now. Looks to be the case through mid. Maikelele on quad has a pretty good position. That's a beautiful first headshot. Looking for a second as well. Not able to connect it just yet. Switches to the USP as the CT scampers up into apps to try and save his own life. And the USP headshot is there on point. It's all on flamie. No defuse kit to play with. He knows where both these players are. First shot has landed. And he's going to be going for that defuse. But surely if Get Right just times this, he's got it in the bag. There we go. Into the head. And Kinguin keep their hopes alive.
There we go. It was a pretty simple tactic. I actually liked it though. So 4 players going towards the apartments. And Maikelele was just anchoring towards the B area and watching for any CT aggression. He then throws the smoke from the bottom of mid, cuts off Arch as a choke point. It means the split from boiler room and apartments comes to fruition. Flashbangs assisted from him as well, and he played phenomenally there. Got some great headshots with the Glock as he came back up. But the CTs, for once, not forcing into this. They have got some PT-50s and CZs, but no armor. Actually going to get 5 smoke grenades instead, so they see themselves locking the T's out for as long as possible. Perhaps you can see there's going to be a lot of players that in the arch area, but all 5 of the T's opting to go towards the bananas. We're interested to see how they approach this. So, presumably will be smoked out any second. There it is.
Yeah, smokes are landing. Maikelele is going to be taking point with that Tech 9. Does land a beautiful headshot onto flamie as well, who was trying to play the close angle. Get Right just chimes in with the Mac 10. And once again, B site is going to be planted on.
Yeah, that was weird from NaVi. Not throwing those smokes when they had them.
Yeah, are going to get punished as well. Edward chimes in with his frag, but it's all Kinguin, and this is going to be their round in the bag. Last player is Guardian. He has a deagle. It's worth saving here with the smoke as well, so I'm sure he's just going to keep that in his back pocket.
Well, that SMG buy was almost a dream come true for Kinguin, considering NaVi didn't buy armor there. Very easy to chew through the bodies of the CTs as you enter the bomb site there. So another simple round for them. All 5 players just going straight up to B, getting in fast. Like we said, NaVi potentially not really utilising those smokes as well as they could have done. There we go. That's going to be 2 in a row for Kinguin. Be interesting to see how NaVi approach this round. They have saved the deagle there, but you'd assume and hope that it's take another eco on the chin here. Don't actually force too much into this. You can see more pistols being purchased, but no armor just yet. You can see the scoreboard. Edward actually stepping up pretty phenomenally. 16 kills for him. Denis with 15, so playing pretty strong as well.
Wow. Considering that Denis was 0 for 5 at one point.
That's very true.
He's definitely been upping his game, so massive props to him. And it's definitely one of the reasons why Kinguin's bounced back, right? Without him, they'll be struggling right now.
Yeah, Kinguin has taken the lead, is worth noting. Opening up the first frag as well down to flamie. Seas does follow suit as well. 5 on 3. Natus goes down.
Just a case of charging on up with that Mac-10. The drive-by from Scream twice in the head of NaVi. It's all on Guardian. Once again in a clutch scenario with that Deagle. And absolutely no hope. It will be 10-8 for Kinguin. And these are the kind of rounds you're expecting them to win. Oh, nice shot from Guardian. He's going to try and make this a bit more troublesome for the terrorists. But you're expecting them to win. Next round, though, this is where NaVi need to start stepping up when they have the rifles.
Yep, I think the problem really for Kinguin at this point is obviously them having a standing to play here. And you need a lot of strategy and synergy between the players on when you're executing things on the T side of Inferno. I can see that being a problem going further now to the actual weapon rounds on this T half.
Well, they have got a very decent bank of cash, not losing too many players there in the 2 anti-ecos, and actually keeping their SMGs, farming the cash away. They will be fine for a couple of rounds. Get right actually opting to keep the MP7 there. 5 rifles from NaVi. They have got no kits actually though, but decent supply of smoke grenades. Let's see what goes down. Terrorists looking to show a lot of early aggression to apartments. 3 players actually committed towards that area with the bomb as well.
Yeah, definitely committing into the apps here, but again, it's just a case of the CTs maybe holding their positions. They've got a decent crossfire, and I can see Edward from Graveyard looking up. They've got a player on balcony as well, so if any Ts do charge on through, you'd fancy NaVi to maybe be able to put the foot down and to stave off the onslaught. And this is what I'm talking about. Edward's just going to open up. 2 players have been heavily tagged. Edward finally gets the man of Denis. They're dropping down. He's in prime position. A strike, but Maikelele just spins around and takes him out. That could prove to be a vital frag here. Guardian's about to run right in to get right, who is ever the lurker. And that MP7 frag point blank range onto Guardian with the bomb down just gives Kinguin a fantastic chance here to edge ahead even further.
Yeah, they should be favored in this one as well. Looking at it's going to be a really hard one as NaVi is actually going to opt to save this. Yeah, no kits even, so it's a smart decision there. But simplicity being key there. Kinguin just basically plowing out with 3 guys coming out of apartments, and Edward and Zeus not able to utilize that crossfire even that they had. Had Edward actually stayed in that graveyard position, I think it would have been actually perfect, and I think we could have been watching a totally different outcome on this round. But as it happens, he moved, gave Kinguin an opportunity, and they took it.
This is the thing, when it's very simple and it's an approach potentially NaVi aren't used to playing against when playing at the top level of CS. And they sort of players, Denis is running out the apartments there, opening up the first frag, and then the exchange coming in. And once they had the control of the quad area and you saw the retake was proposed to NaVi, they didn't have the kits there, and it just wasn't an option for them to actually get into this. And now the money is building very handsomely for Team Kinguin. And NaVi going to be forcing back into this round. Edward's going to be on the Mag 7, but 2 pharmacists for Zeus and Guardian. Got a couple of kits this time though to actually make the retakes more viable. But let's see what happens here. Obviously a huge round. If Kinguin can get this one, they will break NaVi, put themselves in a good position to actually take this map.
Oh yeah, definitely. This would be them leapfrogging over not just rounds, but also economically speaking as well. I agree with Natu. I think if Edward stays in Graveyard, they have a great chance. But the issue is, I think a smoke came down onto mid and he had to move to make sure he's watching short because there was no vision from the other side of Arches. And so you can say like Kinguin timed that absolutely perfectly. But here we go, with the lack of grenades. This is definitely going to be a factor. Guardian's coming in through library. They haven't heard him. Well, that smoke is perfectly placed. It stops him from just peeking out and nabbing himself a couple of frags. And that puts a lot of pressure on Zeus. And also Edward. Edward with a jumping Mag 7 headshot is going to keep things interesting here for the terrorists. Guardian finally gets a man from library. He's given his position away. Both the terrorists right now are tunnel visioning onto pit. And finally Edward has been put down, which really will stamp on CT's perspective here, and they have to back away. They have to just save.
Yeah, Kinguin just proving all my theory about team play and synergy and the lack of out the window. The way they're just attacking right now is very coherent. It's just the way they're going together, making sure they're trading kills and getting those first picks, making it super hard for NaVi to do pretty much anything at this point. And to be honest with you, it's starting to favor Kinguin at this point.
I'm surprised Kinguin aren't hunting down the CTs further here.
Yeah,
They've got such an amount of bank of cash, and they know how important this round's going to be. I'd be either searching the map as far, even if you died, it's not a problem. It's worth the risk, I would say, at this stage. But Going to be playing pretty conservatively, not going to be rushing towards the B-bomb, so where you would assume the CTs would be lying in this sort of situation. But 12-8, as we said, it actually puts NaVi really against the ropes. So they save 2 guns, and that's a massive factor. Actually justifies a buy here. Guardian going to be stepping up with the AWP, and this is where he needs to start finding some form and opening the round up with these impressive picks. We know Guardian can face middle. We'll probably go all out and face T-steps here just to try and get his team that confidence back, get the morale raised a little bit by one of his big plays. Let's see where he goes with this one. That will actually be going straight down. Doesn't actually land the shot, though.
Very, very close to landing that. And this is the issue as well with allowing the double save to come in. If they don't save those weapons, Guardian likely doesn't have an AWP right now. Or if he does, it's a glass cannon AWP. So it could be huge. There's Edward with the first frag. Look at flamie, though. Gets spammed through the wooden panels. Very unfortunate. Sees caught with his Molotov out. It's able to survive a few more seconds, but that frag is absolutely huge. And Kinguin...
It's happening.
Oh, yeah, it's happening. This is just everything going right for Kinguin at this point. That kill to flamie being the last name in the coffin for that statement, to be honest with you. And, yeah, I think this is the point where NaVi is going to be easily tilting as well.
Now you can see the T's actually hunting this time. They've realised how much money they've got. They probably need to get rid of some right now, just for tax purposes. Go spend some cash and see if you can find the CTs and lock them down. Let's see what's going to happen. Are they going to sniff out Guardian?
So important they keep these weapons alive here for NaVi. It gives them a chance in this next round, albeit a slim one. Zeus watching his AWPers back. That grenade does do a lot of damage. He's being tagged up through the wall. And is he going to be able to survive? He's just about backed away, and they do save the 2 weapons. And at one point, wasn't the score like 8-3? Is that 10 consecutive rounds to Kinguin?
They've won Elite. They've won 6 in a row on this half. Yeah,
for the on
that's
previous
10 rounds in a row.
That's crazy.
Kinguin. And we were almost counting them out. At least I was in the back of my mind. I was like 8-3 T-side, no problem. NaVi got this. Well, apparently not.
Yeah, well, I mean, based on statistic, usually when you get 8 rounds on T-side of this map, usually you're favored.
Absolutely. And, well, Seas goes for a bit of a desperation play. You can see the buy coming in right now from NaVi as well. But Maikelele with 2 frags from Bananas, just massive. Edward is going to answer back. 3 on 2. But smart decision from the terrorists. They decide to just back on off and take that bomb to B.
Yeah, you can say that again. Smart decision. Actually, you're going to get in. Maikelele's on the bomb side before the CTs even get there. So he's got full control here. The only option the CTs actually have, there's only one player, that's Zeus. They can't go into this round again. It's an option that they can't win it by the looks of things, considering the positions they have right now. Zeus has to find some absolute magic here.
And his teammate's not coming up just yet. That's Edward. You can see on board with him on the right of your screen. Throwing him with the smoke and the flashbang. But the time is ticking down, and they do get the answer back. But of course, Kinguin are very happy with this trade. If all the CT weapons go and they still win this round, I mean, that's a fantastic round as far as they're concerned. That Molotov on top of Scream, he stays in as long as he possibly can. The bomb's still ticking. Here's Denis. And he finishes things off nicely for Kinguin. And NaVi, 6 rounds behind now.
Well, that's a huge one to lose. Obviously, 7th in the row. I don't know what's going on. It seems like Kinguin just finding those frags absolutely everywhere they go. And now they're in touching distance of getting to match point here. Guardian still has the AWP, though, has to be said. But the rest of the guys all on Famases. And actually no grenades whatsoever. No kits. Oh, there you go. flamie does pick up 1 smoke grenade, but that's not going to be enough to hold off this T-side, who come in with 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes, HGs, flashbangs. This could be it, you know. This is an amazing turnaround from Kinguin.
Absolutely, but there is Guardian. Still stepping up to the plate, still delivering fatal blows, and oh man. I guess like maybe Kinguin is just like, yeah, let's make sure none of the casters get a prediction correct today. Because we were all thinking NaVi and it was looking good.
Online CS, bro.
Twitch chat must be loving this right now. It'll be 2 out of 2 if Kinguin do finish this off. Zeus peeks around the corner with the FAMAS. Does get team killed though from Edward. Very unfortunate there, just trying to spray down through mid, keep the pressure stacked. Here comes Guardian once more. Edward goes for the repeat. He can't get anything. Guardian's in a very good position though, but they must know that he'll still be in pit and again.
Oh,
a great call.
Yeah, both CTs towards that A side. The race is on now, the base race. As flamie makes his way back with his knife out, trying to get in before the T's do it, and he actually has to have no option but to go for ruins here. Obviously get his head ripped off trying to face that angle, and does get himself towards the stalls there and takes out Maikelele as well. And great work from flamie there. Obviously a round they had to win. Guardian got a couple of opening frags, and flamie finishes it off. It wasn't easy though, and obviously this puts him in a very precarious situation. If they do lose this one, it's GG. Need to win this round. They won't have any money going to the next one.
You can see there the featured matchup heavily in favour of Rain.
Absolutely.
Seized on like 5 for 18, I think that said. Somewhere around that mark.
There's the play from flamie.
Yeah, very nicely done by flamie. I agree as well. Very smart for him to go through ruins. Gives him the best possible chance of clutching that. So maybe NaVi still have a couple of chances here. Guardian caught with that Molotov out. Could prove to be crucial. Still lands the shot. Goes for the repeat. Does flamie. He gets picked off. That Molotov will stop the terrorists, and the flashbang as well will stop them for now.
Look at the rotation from NaVi as well.
Yeah.
Sending 3 players. They're going to go aggro here.
Super aggro. Oh, the spray comes in. And Seas gets himself 2 frags. That's absolutely huge. He goes back in for seconds. He's picked up a 3rd. He's looking for a 4th. His hyper aggression is in, and he's picked it up as well. NaVi get their 10th round and keep 3 players alive.
Great situational awareness from NaVi, making that choice of losing a man and then actually going 3 guys aggressive in banana, where all of Kinguin was waiting as well. And then NaVi just winning that battle and slaughtering that round.
That's what we talk about with Seized, his potential to win 1-on-X situations. There's 4 kills from him, and that just really does summarize what he can do on that B bomb site. So they keep going on here. Match point has not been made yet. Another buy coming in for Kinguin, but Guardian looking to get more picks here, facing with the AWP. Edward getting that interesting boost there. A lot of things will boost onto the actual quad itself. I actually really like this one. It's a real off angle for the T's to check.
Absolutely. You're expecting the quad boost, not so much this one. So if Edward can get himself a cheeky frag and just drop back again.
Something's coming, because the T's are coming to boiler room as well.
Oh, yes. Are they going to expect this one? Meanwhile, look at this from Seized. It seems like he's like, okay, it's not working me playing passive. Let's just play hyper-aggressive on the CT side and bag myself some frags. There's 2. Potentially a 3rd frag coming in as well. He's tapping across. Does get taken out from Scream. That was a pretty crucial frag as well, actually, all things considered. But here comes Zeus with 2 kills. No one's watching the right angle on the balcony. And that leaves Scream now, who has been performing pretty well today in a 1-on-2. Again, though, he's got time, and he's got the bomb. You can see here that Guardian is going to be maneuvering his way around, or is actually Zeus. It's going to be Guardian. Just got flashbang. Bomb has been planted. Is the play here, do you think, for Guardian just to wait for Zeus to come on round and then push in together?
Definitely. You don't want to make this 2 1-on-1 situations. You want to ensure you give yourself the maximum chance to win this.
And then we're both going to be pushing the same direction as well. Both with their pistols out. Guardian's going to be taking point right now. The CZ is ripping on through as Scream's picked up the first frag. He's low on HP, and he has been taken down from Guardian as well, but that was so close. The defuse kit will enable NaVi to pick up this round, but again, they've lost a lot of weapons. Their economy's not really getting into good shape just yet.
Nope. Kinguin picking up 11 in a row. Now NaVi has picked up 3 as well in a row. Do they still have it in them? That's the question mark at this point, but a lot of confidence shown by Seized here, pushing down banana, getting 2 picks actually, and almost a 3rd one as well. But yeah, just basically stopping Kinguin's ideas to start off with.
So NaVi do hold on for another round here. We can see it is going to be the quasi-buy from Kinguin. They can justify getting an AK and a few Tech 9s out here, but a lot of damage taken. They make an aggressive push up to banana. Seas takes down Denis there, but Get Right answers straight back into flamie, neutralizing the situation, but CTs aren't done just yet.
A bit worrying for NaVi as well that Seized is so low, but he just jumps up on top of the sandbags. There is strength in numbers here from NaVi. Zeus is there, has to pull himself back with the CZ. And now 2 weapons are in the hands of Kinguin. Edward can't get anything done. That could be absolutely crucial for NaVi. Zeus at the back of sight can't chime in with the CZ, and that leaves us all with Guardian in a 1v3 retake with an AWP. He has traded it out for the M4 for more close-range confrontation, but as long as the terrorists just hold the angles here, Guardian doesn't have a hope in hell.
Rain again, coming huge. Not had the best match, but
that's the kills that matter, right?
Exactly. It doesn't matter how many you get them. It's the quality of the frags that matter. Putting Kinguin at 15-11.
Look at this as well. The money, we just talked about it being a weak situation for NaVi. After losing that almost eco from Kinguin, actually they have nothing to play with. The best they've got is 1 Max 7 pistols in hand for the rest of them. This could be it. Kinguin are going to be able to work out pretty early on what's being presented to them. And as long as they don't do anything too silly in terms of walking into sacks and stuff, they should close this one out. Denis brings him a step closer as well, taking down Zeus.
Yeah, and you could see in that last round on top of it as well, because Caesar's pushed aggressively so many times in Banana, they were waiting for that peak, and flamie got instantly wrecked as soon as he peaked the angle. So now Caesar's in a really tough position, has made the deagle shots count, and brings us back to equality. Although it's anything but equal when you look at the weapons. And there's Maikelele once more. Just a Mag 7 for Edward, a CZ and a deagle. stand between Kinguin and going through to the finals to face off against TSM. And I think there's a pretty safe shout to say they're very likely to do just that. Guardian's trying to get himself a couple of peeks here into the apps. He walks head first into Scream's AK-47. And that should be the round here going the way, and indeed the map.
I can't believe what's happening here. Well, a chance of hope if flamie does take down one. Get right answers back there. 3-on-1 situation, no kit and a max 7 in hand. That's the GG, I'm afraid. And what amazing scenes here after dropping out Fox, bringing in a Merc. They actually looked stronger somehow and get, what, 6 or 7 rounds in a row on the T side. And that's
11 total.
unheard of.
11
total
in a row.
Carrying on from the first half, right? What the hell is going on? Amazing scenes there, but what a great game that was to cast. So many different storylines going on. And like we said, Rain pretty quiet most of the game, but those 2 frags he picked up on the B-bomb side